This is Neil Kaplan. You are listening to the House of Mario.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, episode 52, and we are the Nintendo Podcast, a part of the Epic Collective. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and joining me, as always, is my best buddy, Bryce DeWitt.
Hello, hello.
And today we are talking to the wonderful voice actor, Neil Kaplan. He's been in over 200 anime and video game voice roles altogether. We had a great time talking to him. He was just fantastic.
Yeah, Neil was an absolute joy, and we saw him a couple times throughout the con, whether it was just walking around or even at the opening ceremony. He was an absolute riot. He kept me laughing pretty much the entire convention. I really enjoyed seeing that man, getting to know him, and it was absolutely fantastic and a wonderful opportunity to meet him.
He was actually one of our last interviews we done, and I'd like to think it's the fact we were tired, and it's not, that we're just so stupid, but he owned us a couple of times, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he
Oh yeah.
he whizzed a couple jokes over both our heads. One that I'm very disappointed in that I didn't get until he had to fucking explain
you listen
it.
back to the audio and you're like, we sound like a bunch of morons, but I at the time didn't hear it, and
yeah, the 4A joke, but they'll hear that.
Yep, you'll hear it. Anyway, guys, enough of our babbering on. Here is our interview with Neil Kaplan. Enjoy the show.
Hope you enjoy.
Neil Kaplan, thank you very much for joining us today on the House of Mario.
Bryce and Drew,
Yes.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Neil, you've been in over 200 roles across anime and video games.
Wait, can I swear on this?
Sure, go ahead.
for it.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
That is a lot, yeah. But for someone who doesn't know who you are or what you do, tell us a little bit
You mean
about
like
yourself.
my brothers?
Like your brothers.
I'm a voice actor. I've done audiobooks, narration, video games, animation. I've done voices in live action stuff. So if there's a voice, I've either done it or auditioned for it and didn't get it.
Yeah. So what inspired you to sort of get into the voice acting scene?
I've always been kind of a vocally based actor. So, after doing stage work and having everything kind of vocally based and growing up loving shows like the Copycats, which was an early sketch show, and then Saturday Night Live, I've always enjoyed, the kind of the vocal aspects of humanity, shall we say?
Yep.
It doesn't matter what language something is filmed in or written in or recorded in. It's all told in the same language of human emotion. And that also includes characters. So whether you're playing the evil emperor of a far-off galaxy, or you're playing a dog or a toilet or a sanitation worker, it doesn't matter, because the audience that's watching this only understands the human emotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay? So even if you are a talking toilet talking about how much you hate your job, of course the audience out there goes, yeah, I hate my job too.
Yeah.
Yep, I get it. And it doesn't matter that it's a toilet saying it, other than they go, well, he's got a pretty good reason. He eats shit every day. So it's also the thing that thrills me about it is that I'm not limited to the fact that I'm too fat to play a superhero, or I'm too short to play a supervillain, or I'm too old to play a sidekick, or any one of those things don't matter in voiceover. So I love the variety of what I'm able to do or get hired to do. It's all about just pretending.
Yeah, just having the range to sort of bring these characters to life, it must be just so much fun.
It's
Like obviously you have your stressful days, like it's a job. But
I'll be honest with you, my stressful days tend to not have anything to do with work.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
That's really good to know, actually.
I've even the recording sessions that I'm not enjoying or are more difficult than the others, I'll drive home and see somebody laying tar on the road.
Yeah.
You know, 110 degree heat.
Ooh.
That's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as blessed as I would like to be or will be hopefully one day, but I understand that every time I get the chance to do what I do, that I am a very fortunate and blessed individual.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So that can't be a bad day.
No.
You know?
Absolutely.
I can relate to that a little bit, sort of having the stresses not be related to work elsewhere, yeah.
Oh no, I'm married and we have a pit bull, so
Yep.
that's enough right there.
You're voicing a lot of series we used to watch as children, like Digimon, Transformers, Naruto, and a ton more. What are some of your favourite anime and cartoon characters you've voiced over the years?
Well, we'd probably have to start with Hawkmon.
Yes.
Because he just had a lot of personality and a lot of character and a lot of attitude. So that was certainly a favorite. I enjoyed playing Optimus Prime, mostly because if you're going to be doing any sort of dubbing and your character has a mask over his face, it's so much more fun.
Yeah. Don't have to match
It's so
it up.
much easier. No, not at all. Or you can adjust a line if it just doesn't sound right or doesn't feel right. Like, for instance, you know, the first convention I ever did was while we were recording the first season of Transformers. First season, only season of Robots in Disguise, sorry. And I was at a convention, and it was a very small convention. I mean, the whole thing would probably fit in this area from here to the cosplayer over there. And during the Q&A, somebody asked, haven't heard it on the show yet, will you ever say, roll out? And this will tell you how much of a fan I was not. I said, is that important? And the whole room did exactly that. And so what I did is I said, I'll guarantee you this. From this point forward, you will hear roll out in every single episode. Why? Because the dude had a face mask and I could do it.
Yeah.
And I could make that guarantee.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, when the director asked me the next time, he said, no, this is something we need to put in. Mm-hmm. You know, so those were probably my two favorites. Also, you know, I played this one character on a show called Zatch Bell.
Oh, God, I remember Zatch Bell.
And the character was called Belgium EO, and he was all over the place, emotionally, just really kind of strange energy, and it was all up and down and in and out, and it was a lot of fun because that was based on how I performed it. It wasn't like there were notes in the script saying, okay, get excited here, get angry here, do it. No, it was all how I interpreted it and how I put it out there. So that one was a lot of fun too.
Absolutely.
So we also wanted to talk to you about your video game roles.
How can I not mention Madara Uchiha? Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
I forgot that myself.
Certainly, it was a lot easier when he was wearing the mask, but then he took it off, and it's like,
no.
He's so pretty. He's so pretty. How can somebody that pretty be as mean as I'm playing him? You know? But he's got such hair. You know?
He does. He has a massive, long pile of hair, pretty much.
Yep. So there you go. Now he can move forward, and hopefully I won't get my ass kicked by too many fans.
Do you get a lot of requests to imitate Madara's voice?
I get 0 requests to impersonate a voice that I do.
Right. Well, you know what I mean.
That's why I corrected you. Because there's a reason I play villains, dude. Here's a reason. Yeah, you know, I get some requests, and sometimes, you know, I have to tell people, unfortunately, I can't do that.
Yep.
Because what you hear on TV is basically
Me getting right up on the mic and doing this.
Yeah.
which may sound really powerful when you're at home, but if I try doing that at a convention, you're not going to hear it.
No. Yeah.
And then somebody's going to walk away and go, oh, I guess he gets a lot of help from the soundboard.
Yeah.
because that didn't sound that impressive. You know, it's sort of like I was at Comic-Con about a decade ago. And I'd written this comic book. I'd written the first chapter of a graphic novel. And I was trying to see if I could get some publishers interested in it. And let me tell you, if you ever want to talk to a comic book publisher, there's a great opening line that I found worked for me. It was, "Hi, my name's Neil Kaplan. I'm probably best known around the world as the voice of Optimus Prime on Transformers, Robots in Disguise." To which every one of those publishers said, "Please, come in." And we spoke, including Top Cow. And at the time, Seth Green was writing Freshman for Top Cow. And so he was doing a signing later that day, and I thought, oh, that'd be kind of fun. You know, I'll get a Freshman sign and send it to my nephew. That'll be kind of fun, okay. And so, waiting in line, and the people who are standing behind Seth have already heard my line, and so they know who I am. And they asked, well, why are you waiting in line? I said, because I'm not that big a deal, and I'm not that guy. I don't do that. So I waited in line, and just before I got up to meet Seth, this kid in front of me in line goes, all I hear is, Cybertron, Autobots, Optimus Prime, transform! And I look up, and I can literally see the people behind Seth standing there, and I can see their assholes puckering. They're just going, do you have any idea who's behind you in line? And Seth turns and goes, no, who? And they go, he's the voice of Optimus Prime. Was, but
but still,
was close enough at the time.
Yeah. It's still an accolade to hold.
And, you know, I'm not going to argue at that point. But, and so Seth pulls out his phone and goes, Optimus Prime off, ready, go.
Oh, no.
And this is the way I break it down to fellow nerds. That was my Kobayashi Maru. That was my no-win situation.
Yeah.
If I do battle with this kid and I lose, I've lost to an amateur. If I win, I've just beaten up on a poor, helpless nerd.
Yeah.
There's no element in this in which I come out looking okay. Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what? You're a fan. You know everything to say. Good for you. You win. I went in. I read it off of a sheet of paper on a music stand. I would have no idea what to say. Congratulations. You know? But for years, you know, I'd run into Seth and he teased me about, oh, we should have you on Robot Chicken. So they finally did, and I played Dumbledore. Uh-oh. Sorry, you guys are looking through their notes right now. That's why there's this dead air. It's not as though they weren't impressed by me being on Robot Chicken. They were distracted. So please, forgive the silence that met that.
I was just making sure it was unlocked, so we were ready for the next one.
All right.
So, let's talk about your video game roles.
Okay.
Recently, you've had roles in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
That was obviously a really big one. We actually caught up on a podcast that you were with the Destiny community.
Right.
Yep. That's how we know about your dog, if you remember that. He certainly wanted to correct you on everything.
He made a couple of appearances.
What was it like working on a game as big as, say, Destiny was? As the main bad guy, you were Dominus Ghaul, correct?
That's my understanding.
Yep.
It was surreal from the very moment it started, because the audition went out, and one of the references for what they were thinking Dominus Ghaul might be like was Emperor Zarkon on Voltron,
Right.
legendary, legendary defender, and it's like, I think I know what that guy sounds like. So it's like I go into this audition with this pressure on, because it's like, okay, if they're referencing me and I don't get it, That's not good. So fortunately I got it, and I worked with one of my favorite directors. And Kevin brought out some great stuff. I mean, the first session we spent just honing it in and getting the character in its place, and I love that, and I feel like it really lent itself to what I think was one of the better performances I've ever given. Because I really did base so much of Gaul in his pain. You know, which any actor who hasn't gotten every role they ever auditioned for understands. The difference is I don't take those kind of actions, you know, and decide to destroy Hollywood to show them that I should have gotten the part. But I certainly understood where Gaul was coming from. And, of course, then I hear some of these scenes later, you know, and it's like, I worked with two of my favorite actors and never met either one of them, let alone in the same room at the same time. Which should tell you how good the direction on that game was. Because if you can't tell that Frank Langella and I have never met, let alone be in the same room to record our scenes, you'd never know it.
Yeah, no, that's,
you know?
that's very true.
And that as brilliant an actor as Frank Langella is, if he's directed in the wrong way, it doesn't work. Greatest example of that will stay in the Destiny universe. We'll look at the first one, and we'll look at Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think anybody who knows anything about Peter Dinklage and his work knows that he's a very talented actor. So how did that fall so flat?
Yeah.
Because he had a director who wouldn't step up and push him where he needed to go.
Yep.
Or pull him where he needed to go. Or ask him to come where he needed to go. Okay? Video games have a challenge that animation doesn't have, in that the script really is line by line by line by line. And a lot of times when I'm doing a video game, I don't even see the lines of anybody else who's in the scene with me. I have no idea what's happening in that scene.
Yeah.
All I've got is my lines. So I'm depending upon the director setting the emotion, setting the scene, setting the physicality of it. Because if he doesn't tell you that you and Frank Langella are 5 feet from each other, you may play the scene like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you read the heavy emotion. But then when the director tells you, no, you're sitting around a table and conspiring, that moves the emotion somewhere else. So I'm convinced that whoever directed Peter Dinklage in the first one didn't steer him toward a whole performance. Because what you can get in video games very easily is you can get 500 individually brilliantly delivered lines. They are 24 karat gold. They are dragon glass. They are, Valerian steel. I don't, it's a, unobtainium. I don't care what you want to call it. Okay?
It's literal perfection.
But yet they don't weave together.
Yeah.
They don't weave together.
Exactly.
And then that scene sucks. Or if every single line is brilliantly delivered with heavy emotion and sweeps the same way, you're going to get sick and tired of hearing that character.
Yeah. They might be just having a normal conversation. You're like, hey! Yeah.
Or because it's like, I'm going to play the line where I get very emotional at the end. And each and every line that I do will be the same. It's like maybe the individual acting on that line may be good, but you just hear it repetitively again and again and again and again, and it doesn't work. So, it's like if you guys enjoyed Destiny, I think I did good work.
Yeah.
But I definitely have to give it up to Kevin McMullen, the director, who really was one of the main driving forces of that game working so well.
Yeah.
I moved the mic! Oh. Sorry.
No, you're perfect.
I fucked with the pop screen. Did you hear me pop?
Hopefully not. That's what the pop screen's for.
I know.
So, when you do you play many of the games that you
No.
act in? At all?
No.
None at all.
No, I have a very addictive personality, and if I played the games I worked on, I'd never work on the games I work on.
Especially
Yeah.
Destiny 2, that's probably a bad one to
Yeah,
get
to
into
really
if
get
you-
sucked into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch them get played. Like, I'll go to tournaments sometimes and watch the professionals play and just go, okay, that's how StarCraft is supposed to go.
I
Okay.
think I get it.
Okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm, like, from the moment that they put, like, a fourth button or a second controller on the, it's like as soon as they put a second joystick or whatever on the PlayStation, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
This takes way more than I can handle.
So would you play a role? Would you play your game like that you've had a role in if it was on like a old Nintendo with only 2 buttons?
Well,
and a
no, like
D-pad?
I actually played Battlegrounds. I actually played Star Wars Battlegrounds.
Yep.
I played that one all the way through because it was pretty easy to point and click.
Pew.
Or go ahead and build this.
Yep.
Okay, build this fortification, build this whatever, upgrade this or all that. It was easy enough for me to control,
Yeah.
and also, I wasn't married at the time, and I wasn't working as much as I do now, and time was a little freer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a problem, isn't it? Work. Yeah.
Actually, the bigger problem is finding the work,
Yeah.
getting the work, acquiring the work, doing the
Yeah.
work. That's the good part.
Yeah.
That's the sauce and the cherry on top of the sundae.
Yeah. So what does a day look like for you? Like when you're looking for work, is it at home, sort of sending emails, talking to people?
Little bit of networking. Pay attention to the social media.
Yeah.
Go ahead and cultivate the fans. Because as an actor, we're nowadays with social media, we're a different shaped commodity, shall we say. Before it was just the voice. Now it's what fan base can you bring with you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What enthusiasm can your participation create?
Yeah.
And so every now and then it's like interact with some people and remind them that I've worked on some stuff that's been pretty popular and has a good amount of fan loyalty, and that the characters were well received, and and see what you can do.
Yeah.
Stay in touch with people.
So, just as a couple final questions, while you're in Adelaide, are you going to get up to anything in particular apart from the museum?
I'm not really going to have a whole lot of time at this point,
Yeah.
other
very
than the
busy.
convention. No, it's like at this point we're in convention mode. I'm
Yeah.
talking to you guys, and then we'll
Absolutely.
have the meet and greets with the with some of the fans, and then the opening ceremonies. And I'm one of those guys that I usually feel like when a convention brings me in, I want to be as much a participant in the convention as possible.
Absolutely.
Will hopefully say something, make some people laugh, and I want to be a part of somebody else's good time.
Absolutely.
If
Good
not,
way to look at it.
if
Yeah.
not even possibly be the cause of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The instigator of your fun. It's the golden rule is treating people the way you'd want to be treated, and I can't imagine that I would want to fly somebody halfway around the world and then not have them meet my friends,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or my guests. So it's like, I'll be here for the opening ceremonies. I'll be here for the VIPs, and if I'm able to go out and do something Adelaide-ish, then that's what I'll do. Otherwise, I'm meeting you guys. I'm meeting the local people. I'm eating the local food.
Yep.
And that, that's as much a part of the experience as anything else.
And we absolutely appreciate your time.
Oh,
Really
well,
do.
thanks, man.
It's great. This is actually our first real foray into going out and doing public events, so it's a bit different for us.
Well, be careful when you get to the 5B.
What's 5B?
Well, it's totally different from the 4A.
Okay. God, no. Totally over my head.
He wished him.
It's okay. I do that to a lot of people. You've obviously never checked out my Twitter feed at Kneecap, Nekap. I do that to a lot of people.
we do see you retweet a lot of people's comments and stuff as well. Which, while we're on the subject, if people want to follow you,
Yeah.
where can they follow you? What pages do you have open? Twitter or
Twitter, that's Nekap, Nekap. On Instagram, it's Nekap Pix, so Nekapix, I believe. I'm thinking, wait, do I have two P's or not? Oh no! But anyway, and I really try to keep that as more my experience of the world. I'm one of those people that I get really annoyed when I have friends who put up the same thing on Facebook that they do on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what, I'm not following you on Twitter because you're wasting my time putting the same thing on both places.
Yeah.
I work to make sure if you're on my Facebook page, you're not seeing the same thing that you are on.
Yeah, different platforms, different
Yep,
experiences.
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And certainly, Twitter is more of a one-off thing. I tend not to get very political on my Facebook page. That's like an escape page. Twitter, I can't help it. I'm more socially active.
Yep.
People matter to me. The fact that I have hundreds or thousands of young people that listen to what I say or look up to me, even if it's just slight, I take that very seriously. Mm-hmm. And I try to really espouse that whole notion of treat people the way you'd want to be treated.
Absolutely.
And I'm by no means perfect, but I think, I think everybody deserves a shot. I may be a straight white male, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a respect for and a love for other human beings that are not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Other people that, quite frankly, are still discovering themselves.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, if it's not hurting anybody, either if you can't celebrate what somebody else does, then just leave them the fuck alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we agree with that as well.
And I think that's one of the reasons. I think that may be one of the reasons I enjoy coming down to Australia and meeting the fans down here. Not only because the enthusiasm level is pretty much unrivaled, but the acceptance that I find down here with this community. And I'm not saying that it's all of Australia, but certainly the Australian nerd community is very accepting of different people's experiences and different people's lives and different people's values. And it's like, look, as long as you ain't stepping on my toes, keep tap dancing.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Neil, for joining us today.
Hopefully some of that made sense.
It absolutely did.
Yes.
No, it was really good having a chat with you. That was brilliant.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope that you enjoy your time in Adelaide, and I hope that the convention goes smoothly. Everything goes nice and...
Knock on wood.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much to Neil Kaplan for coming on the House of Mario this episode. It was a pleasure talking to you. And thank you very much to AvCon and all the staff there, allowing us to be able to have the opportunity to talk to all the actors and guests at the convention.
And thank you very much to 8bit.net and Brendan White for organising the media passes and lending us a portable recorder to take with us to the con. It's come in very handy, and we appreciate all the effort that you've put in to help us get there.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Next episode, we speak with Major Sam. She's a fantastic cosplayer within the Australian cosplay community. And thank you very much to Daniel Treadray for allowing us to stay in his house. What a nice young man and a nice friend.
And he certainly doesn't like to fuck with the audio.
No, he does not. And this week's Nintendo Jukebox is the Digirap. Neil Kaplan was Hawkmon in the Digimon movie, so this is a good excuse as any. Anyway, see you later.
All right. You ready to go? I'm ready. Ready? Let's go. The Digivolution is up and running. Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know it was coming? A Digi Destiny starts today. Let me hear you say Digimon, Digimon, Digimon. champions. Digimon, Go Masters, Digimon are the champions. With Digi-Will and Digi-Vice in hand, is the Digi-Dynamic Force and Digiland. With the Digi-Past, Digi-Present collide, time to Digi-Side. Digimon, Go Masters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, Go Masters, Digimon are the champions. The Digi world is Digi safe, and now we'll meet its Digi fate. Good Digimon to protect what's right, we'll have to Digi fight. Digimon, Go Masters, Digimon are the champions. 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 Digimon's making the scene, they're kicking it up to the big screen. Digimon's making the scene, they're kicking it up to the big screen. Digimon's making the scene, they're kicking it up to the big screen. Digimon's making the scene, they're kicking it up to the big screen. The Digi-Dudes will Digi-Rule with Digi-Ability and Digi-Tool. Save the world from a Digi-disaster. The threat from the net meets the digital masters. Digimon, Digimon are the champions. Digimon are the champions. Digimon are the champions. Digimon are the champions. Let's wrap this up. The Digivolution will not be stopped. Digimon roll, Digimon rock. Remember the Digi things I say, and Digi save the day. Digimon